28th of January 25. I'm just making this video for myself and for everyone because we all use passwords. It's still the mainstay of how to protect your devices. And yeah, it's just from the Hacker News. How long does it take hackers to crack modern hashing algorithms? Well, and basically they're saying make your password very long. The most important thing is to make your password long. If you've got a very complex one that's about 6 or 8 characters, they might crack that instantly. So really make it very long. I mean, something like "Happy Birthday to You" is better than X hash asterisk capital P A Z. That sort of thing. Yeah. But even though "Happy Birthday to You" is a terrible thing because they do dictionary attacks as well, common phrases and stuff. But if you mix that up and added numbers and other characters, I don't know enough about it. You need to ask somebody else, but I'm just saying, make them long. That's it. I mean, I think they're saying here, well, the official I've heard is about 14 characters of all types. But here they're also talking about it depends what kind of hashing method the device is using or whatever. Apparently, we all used to use MD5. So I'll go down here first. See, the hashing algorithms is how because they don't keep your password on the site or on your device as it is. They hash it in a special way, which is just making it a different code, I suppose. That's how I'm thinking of it. Yeah, hashing algorithms are a mainstay across a myriad of security applications And while it's not a foolproof security method, hashing is vastly better than storing passwords in plain text. Yeah, by design, hashing significantly hampers an attacker's ability to crack passwords, acting as a critical deterrent by making password cracking so time and resource intensive that attackers are likely to shift their focus to easier targets. Can hackers crack hashing algorithms? Well, because they're one-way functions, the only method to compromise hashed passwords is through brute force techniques. So I think in most cases your passwords are hashed now. I don't know, but mostly. So they've got to brute force them, and cyber attackers employ special hardware like GPUs. I think that's of the processor units of graphic cards, and cracking software like Hashcat, Lightcrack, John the Ripper. Is that Loft Crack? To execute brute force attacks at scale, typically millions or billions or combinations at a time. So they're using a software program to try and work it out. They download the password, the hash tag, the hash key, the hashed password, and then they work on it offline with a software thing. Even with these sophisticated purpose-built cracking tools, password cracking times can vary dramatically depending on the specific hashing algorithm used and password length character combination. So it's up to the device or the website what hashing algorithm they use, and then you're in control of how long the password's going to be. For example, long complex passwords can take thousands of years to crack, while short, simple passwords can be cracked immediately. And so here's cracking benchmarks that were used by Spec Ops on researchers on an NVIDIA RTX 409 GPU, that's a graphic user card I think, and they used Hashcat software. So must be pretty recently. So MD5 was the way we were told was the best. I don't know how, probably it's still the norm in most places, I don't know. Once considered an industrial strength hashing algorithm, MD5 is now considered cryptographically deficient due to its various security vulnerabilities. That said, it remains one of the most widely used hashing algorithms. For example, the popular CMS WordPress still uses MD5 by default. This accounts for approximately 43.7% of CMS powered websites, With readily available GPUs and cracking software, attackers can instantly crack numeric passwords of 13 characters or fewer secured by MD5S 128-bit hash. On the other hand, an 11 character password consisting of numbers, uppercase, lowercase characters and symbols would take 26.5 thousand years. So it's saying it depends. 13 characters, I think they're meaning letters only. Crack numeric passwords of 13 characters, or well, just numeric, if you just use numbers. 13 numbers. Even an MD5 128, which is probably the norm at the moment, the type of hashing algorithm devices use in websites, that could be instantly cracked. So even if it was 13 numbers, it's useless. Whereas an 11 character password consisting of numbers, uppercase and lowercase characters and symbols would take 26,500 years. So that's even with MD5. You would still, using the whole lot, it would take 26,500 years for them to crack, even using really good software and a GPU processor. So SHA-256. The SHA-256 hashing algorithm belongs to the secure hash algorithm 2, SHA-2, group of hashing functions designed by the National Security Agency and released by the National Institute of Standards and Technology. As an update to the flawed SHA-1, so you don't want SHA-1 now, you really want SHA-2. SHA-256 is considered a robust and highly secure algorithm suitable for today's security algorithms. When used with long, complex passwords, SHA-256 is nearly impenetrable using brute force methods. An 11 character SHA-256 2, well, I think 256 means 2 or whatever, hash password using numbers, upper lowercase characters and symbols takes 2,000 years really to crack using GPUs and cracking software. However, attackers can instantly crack 9-character SHA-256 hash passwords consisting of only numeric or lowercase characters. So there you go again. Even when you're using this really good type of hashing algorithm on you, if your device uses it, it only takes, because you only used numeric or lowercase characters, 9 characters, and then if you used 9 characters, it could still hack it instantly. So long passwords, I think I've heard the official advice is 14. I mean, I would make it 16 or 18 or whatever, or as long as you like. I mean, there is a point where it becomes pointless, but it seems as the years go by, they get higher and higher anyway. So B-crypt is another type of hashing algorithm. Security experts consider both SHA-256 and B-crypt as sufficiently strong hashing algorithms for modern security applications. However, unlike SHA-2, I'll call it B-crypt bolsters its hashing mechanism by implying salting by adding a random piece of data to each password hash to ensure uniqueness. B-crypt makes passwords highly resilient against dictionary or brute force attempts. Additionally, B-crypt employs a cost factor that determines the number of iterations to run the algorithm. So they're saying this is really good. B-crypt. It's extremely resistant to dictionary and brute force attacks. I've no doubt that in the future or near future, or maybe even now, that the latest Apple iPhones will have this. I don't know. A cyber attacker using GPUs and cracking software would take 27,000 years to crack an 8-character password consisting of numbers, uppercase and lowercase letters and symbols hashed by B-crypt. So with this password, even though it's not got many characters, 8 characters, and you're using the whole everything you can do for a password, upper lowercase letter, symbols and numbers, even with that, with B-crypt it would take 27,000 years, so that's incredible really, However, numeric or lowercase only B-crypt passwords under 8 characters are trivial to crack, taking between a matter of hours to a few seconds to compromise. So there you go. It's really important to mix up your passwords, you know. I think even if you just put one symbol or one thing in, you know, just to mix it up, as long as it's not something like hash, the at sign for because I think they know about that sort of thing. People use that, you know. How do hackers get around hashing algorithms? The common vulnerability is short and simple passwords. Long complex passwords that incorporate numbers, uppercase and lowercase letters and symbols are the ideal formula for password strength and resilience. However, password reuse remains a significant issue. This is when you use the same password for loads of things. Because if one website is holding it incorrectly, you know, that's you. You've lost it because of that website. I mean, to me, the only way they'll need to go is biometric, really, you know, to do away with all this. So they're saying that cyber attackers nowadays are likely to get your password from breached websites and expose password lists from the dark web rather than attempting to crack long, complex passwords. So, cracking a long password hashed with B-crypt is virtually impossible, even with purpose-built hardware and software. By using a non-compromised password, it's instant and effective. So the SpecOps password policy continuously scans your Active Directory against a growing database of over 4 billion unique compromised passwords. So they look in the dark web for websites that have been hacked into, basically, and any other. So I think that was a really good explanation by the Hacker News. I'll go through the first bit because I never went through that. I wanted to get to the hashtag algorithm, but I mean, I think you can check your phone what type of thing you can use for your Wi-Fi and that. So MD5 is okay as long as you're using long complex things, you know, up to 14 or 16 characters. Got to be numbers, upper, lowercase, symbols. But you prefer B-crypt and SHA-2, basically they're saying. So I'll go back. For example, the NIST password recommendations are now prioritising password length over complexity. So length is the most important thing. Hashing, however, remains a non-negotiable. Even long, secure passphrases should be hashed to prevent them from being completely exposed in the event of a data breach. So that's like websites are meant to convert your password into a hash algorithm, or your device as well. And that's what I was talking about. You want B-crypt or SHA-2, but MD5 is still okay as long as you've got a really long complex password. 14, 16 characters or something, you know. So this is just showing you how you can protect your hash passwords regardless of which algorithm you're using. Modern password cracking techniques. Malicious actors have an array of tools and methods at their disposal. Some of the more widely used methods include brute force attacks, password dictionary attacks, hybrid attacks, and mask attacks. And all these are using software, then, you know, they're not manually trying to figure out your password. They've got software that types in thousands, millions of passwords per minute, you know, that sort of thing. And not to the website or device, they're doing it offline. They take your hashed password offline and they work on it on their own computer. Brute force attacks. A brute force attack involves excessive, forceful trial and error attempts to gain account access. Malicious actors employ specialised tools to systematically test password variations until a working combination is discovered. Although unsophisticated, brute force attacks are highly effective using password cracking software and high-powered computing hardware like graphics processing units. Password dictionary attack. As its name implies, a password dictionary attack systematically draws words from a dictionary to brute force password variations until finding a working combination. The dictionary may contain every common word, specific word lists, and word combinations, as well as, here's the important bit, as well as words derivatives permutations with alphanumeric and non-alphanumeric characters, e.g. substituting an A with a @ sign. Password dictionary attacks may also contain previously leaked passwords or key phrases exposed in data breaches. So really, I said happy birthday to you is better than X, a very short, complex thing, 4, 5, 6 characters long. I mean, but happy birthday, it's still a bad one though. You would want to mix that up, maybe spell it wrong, happy. You want to put in at least one symbol, 2 symbols, not the A sign instead of A. You want to spell it incorrectly. You want capital letters in there. You want a number in there, at least one, but maybe 2 or more, You really want to mix it up. So it doesn't really look like happy birthday to you even, I mean, if you said number 2 and the letter U at the end, they would look in that with a dictionary attack probably, So even though that's still a brute force attack, it's the same as a brute force. That's just going for anything, just making anything up. Whereas a lot of us probably do like happy birthday to you or whatever, So you've got to keep in mind that. And then hybrid attacks, that's combining both of them. So combine brute force with dictionary based methods to achieve better. So that's common sense, they're going to do that. Probably they'll use that mostly nowadays. May use a dictionary word list of commonly used credentials with techniques that integrate numerical and non-alphanumeric character combinations. So they're looking for a combination, And mask attacks, this one's sort of new to me. In some cases, malicious actors may know a specific password, pattern or parameter requirements. This knowledge allows them to use mask attacks to reduce the number of iteration attempts in their cracking efforts. Well, I suppose that means if they know it's, I don't know, mask attacks use brute force to check password attempts that match a specific pattern, e.g. eight characters start with a capital letter and end with a number or special character. So, yeah, don't end in a typical way, don't start with a capital letter. So that's the sort of thing that's looking at. If they know that your password's 10 characters long, that's very helpful to them, They only need to check 10 characters through their computer. And then they'll maybe think that you might go for a capital letter to start with, a special character to end with, that sort of thing. So you really got to mix it up in that way. And there's when I'm back where I started. So what I take from this, you really want your password to be, say, 14 characters, 16 characters even, as long as you want. I mean, it doesn't matter how long it is, but maybe that's future proofing even, but and you want to use every type of character, symbols, upper, lower, number, and you don't want it to make it obvious even when you're using them, don't use a capital letter as the first thing, that sort of thing maybe, So I hope that was helpful to you. And when you're buying a device or looking at a website, how they change your password into a hashing algorithm, MD5 is probably still the most typical type, but you would prefer it to be SHA-2 or B-crypt, according to this. Alright, that's it for just now. That's a very good article, January 28th, 2025. All my things, right, there we go, thought it stopped.